Alright everybody, Barcelona have been able to defeat Mallorca 1-0 with a goal coming from Lamine Yamal, and that is where I do want to start for today's video. I want to speak about Lamine Yamal and his importance. A few days ago, many were speculating that Lamine Yamal is injured, that he has some sort of discomfort on his knee, and many of us were recommending for Lamine Yamal to not even play in this game against Mallorca. But man, were we wrong, because I do think that probably the only source of our attack was coming through Lamine Yamal. We can say that maybe Gundogan was also providing some chances, Lewandowski was also trying to score, maybe even Vitor Roque, but no one was as impactful than Lamine Yamal. As a matter of fact, he was named as the MVP for tonight, and in his goal, that goal was just something else. Like, I can name probably one player that's able to replicate what Lamine Yamal did tonight against Mallorca, and you guys already know what type of player I am talking about, the greatest of all time. I know that it sounds strange for me to compare Messi and Lamine Yamal, but there's just so much similarities. And the type of goal that Yamal has scored, I'm like, who does this at 16 years old? Like, tell me who? Who in the world of football at 16 years old can score goals like this? Who in the world of football can be 16 years old and carry their club to another 3 points in the league? Tell me who? I would really like to know, because if not, then there you have it. That is the reason why I'm saying one of the players that Lamine Yamal does remind me of, it is Lionel Messi. I'm so sorry to say that. I know that I'm setting the bar high for the player, but it's just he is too good at just 16 years old, and I hope that he continues to get better and better from here. I wish him the very best health in his career, because that is the one thing that is going to be very important for the player. Like, many players are very talented, and maybe yes, even more than Yamal, and we have seen that in the past 10 to 12 years, but the reason why those youngsters who are very talented never really make it to the top is because of injuries. And I feel like Barcelona have a big responsibility to take care of Yamal and make sure that he at least makes it healthy until 23 years old, because at 23 you'll start to have a better understanding how your body does like to maneuver. So these next 6 to 7 years are very important, and we have to continue to nurture the player correctly. I cannot stress that enough. And so we saw Lamine Yamal on the 50th or 53rd minute try to challenge the goalkeeper. He did end up hitting the post. He could have given up, but then 10 minutes later, on the 73rd minute, Lamine Yamal yet again received the ball by Lewandowski. He shifts inside and puts it into the top left corner. The exact same type of goal that he was trying to score 10 minutes before. It was the exact same play, and we saw Yamal run all the way close to one of the fans trying to celebrate. He knew that it was a big deal because it was a golazo. It gave Barcelona the extra edge, and those 3 points were so important. As a matter of fact, with Barcelona not even conceding in this game, it has now been 3 matches in a row where Barcelona have not conceded at all for the first time this season. And that's great, because we have been talking about on how Barcelona defensively, they are getting better. And tonight, my friends, we saw another great defensive display with Cubarsí, Inigo Martinez, Cancelo on the left back position, and Koundé on the right back position. I do think that out of all defenders for tonight, Koundé was probably the most important one, because in the first half, Barcelona did not have the greatest game. We gave Mallorca some chances, and Koundé was always there to stop the counterattacks and take the ball away from either Lato or Morlanes or Larin. 3 players who are very dangerous with Mallorca, and Koundé was able to stop all of them. In this game, he had 3 clearances, 1 headed clearance, 3 interceptions, 6 defensive actions, 11 recoveries, okay? 11 recoveries, and he was only dribbled past once. As for Cubarsí, he had 94 touches, which I think is the most in this game, because he was very involved in everything. 4 passes into the final third, 2 out of 3 tackles won. He blocked a ball once, 5 clearances, which is more than Koundé, 2 headed clearances, 10 defensive actions, 2 recoveries, and he was only dribbled past 1 time. So it is amazing the type of partnership Cubarsí and Koundé can build here, because ever since Cubarsí was shifted to the right center back position, he was able to really build something great with Koundé, because they understand each other. It's very technical on that right side. Now in tonight's game, we did not see Araujo because he was suspended, which is why Inigo Martinez was on the left side and building his relationship with Cancelo, and I think that it was okay. It was alright. Cancelo did lose a few balls, but it was alright, because at the end of the day, Cancelo actually had a lot to do in the attack compared to the previous game, where he did not really have the end product with him. So he improved his game. Like, for example, he had 4 out of 4 successful dribbles, 4 passes into the final third, 3 out of 3 accurate long balls, and he won 4 out of 8 ground duels. So great job to the defense. Also, I would like to move on to the midfield, because I do think that there's some things that we have to like settle down here. Gundogan had the opportunity to score a penalty He was unable to do it. He missed the penalty. And I think that ever since he missed that penalty, his confidence got lowered, because ever since that, he was losing so many balls. Sometimes he misplaced the pass. And in the beginning, like in the first 10 to 12 minutes, he was on top of everything. He was very sharp, very energetic. But since he missed that penalty, his confidence lowered. And I'm like, dude, we don't need this right now. You're a veteran. You're fully matured. You understand that some players sometimes go through little slumps through the game. You can get better from here. You don't have to be all down throughout the next 60 to 80 minutes. It doesn't make any sense. But I understand that Gundogan tried his best. I'm also not going to really put out too much heat on Gundogan, because overall through this whole season, he has been very important. He has scored so many goals, provided so many assists. I understand why he would go through this slight slump just momentarily. I do think that in the next game, Gundogan will start and he will showcase his true talent. As for Rafinha, he did start in this game, but he had to leave like 20 minutes later because apparently Rafinha went through some sort of knock. He's not injured, by the way. Many sources have claimed that Rafinha is okay. He will be available for the match against Napoli, but he had to be taken out just for precautionary measures. Fermin Lopez came in for Rafinha, and Fermin Lopez acted kind of like the number 10 instead of Rafinha. Rafinha was the one that was placed as the attacking midfielder, while Lamine Yamal was on the right wing position. Rafinha did okay. I just felt like we needed much more from Rafinha, but I understand because he's not a true number 10. He naturally likes to play on the wings, but overall his game was solid, but we needed much more, and we definitely got much more once Lamine Yamal was in the groove on the right flank. Moving on towards the attack, and I want to speak about Joao Felix, because look, I said something on Twitter and you guys can go check it out. I posted something about Joao Felix and I said that Felix was mid today against Mallorca. He did not really provide much. I saw him try to score some goals. He was unlucky, but overall his defensive game and overall in his attacking game, he was not so great. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like if you really analyze Felix and his movements, his defensive game is just so loose. And when he has the ball and he tries to attack, he loses the ball a lot. And I'm like, dude, this is the reason why we brought you in, is to win us games like this. Like, you're Joao Felix. You're the player that was one considered to be as potentially one of the best players in the world. Many were saying that about him 3 years ago, and now Felix can't even get past Gonzalez, who is one of the right backs of Mallorca. And we were playing a very tight game because Mallorca were closing down very quickly. We had to maneuver through tight spaces. Joao Felix is a master at that, but he did not really provide much in the attacking phase. And I'm like, what is this obsession with asking for a second loan for Felix, when I think that Barcelona should just pull another lever, bring in some income, and get Nico Williams, someone who is much more pacey, energetic, that's able to dribble through a lot of players within a span of like 1 to 2 seconds. Joao Felix is simply just too slow, and I feel like he half-asses a lot of the plays. And so I don't know, man, we need much more, because when I saw Vitor Roque come in for Felix, Vitor Roque looked way more energetic. He was trying to fight for the ball all the time, pressing the back line all the damn time. And I'm like, this is what Felix needs. Like, if Felix can only do that, Barcelona would be in great positions to score if we win the ball because of Felix's high technical skills. But Vitor Roque came in trying to win every ball. He was having a blast, by the way. He was dribbling through many players, and I'm like, this is what we need. We need things like this, is to press the opponent well, defend from the front. Vitor Roque provides exactly that. And so a couple of key moments that I also do want to speak about is, you know, the refs not being fair to Barcelona, because Lamine Yamal was fouled twice. That could have been so much more serious if that player only put more force on Lamine Yamal's ankles. It happened twice, one on the 22nd minute and one on the 88th minute. In both of those times, the ref didn't give out anything, but these were clear fouls. The first one on the 22nd minute, that should have been a straight red. Now, that was actually also the moment where they gave us a penalty, but still, dude, like, that is just too much. And then they continued to try and harm Lamine Yamal on the 88th minute, where it should have been yet again another foul. Another key moment I also want to speak about is the fact that Xavi Hernandez was in the stands because he couldn't be on the bench because of the accumulation of yellow cards, but he was actually watching the Napoli game while Barcelona were being tied with Mallorca 0-0. I'm like, dude, you're focused on the wrong match. Like, I know that you're very prepared for the next match against Napoli. I know that's very important, but still, like, put all of your energy in the game against Mallorca. To watch Napoli like mid-game, you could have watched this game on replay after this game was over. But it's very interesting to see how they also operate, because I'm like, dude, like, is that, like, when I first saw that, I'm like, is that the Barcelona versus Mallorca match, or is that somebody else? Until I saw the blue shirts, and I'm like, oh, that's Napoli. And so overall, I am impressed. I think that going into this game against Napoli, we should feel very good. From a defensive standpoint, we're ready. From the attacking standpoint, we don't know yet. We're gonna have to click. If we can get the attacking phase clicking and have every player score goals, Barcelona will be okay and we can go into the quarterfinals. We just have to be very focused. Cancelo has to come in with great, high precise key passes. Lewandowski has to be able to find those opportunities. Vitor Roque needs to have a great game. Lamine Yamal needs to just continue to be himself and score those top left corner goals. And so let's go Xavi, let's go Barcelona, let's keep pushing forward. That is going to be wrapping up today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one.